You waited for Millicent Gilfborg to show up with her crew, escorted her to a conference room. Lunar had Tenebris had a stand down with a dwarf and won. Just a moment.
I'm on it.
Oh, a child situation.
Yeah, she's
Rogue
got
kiddo.
um, as you began conversations, Millie, a half orc that she had brought with her, named Garrick, who, upon some inspection by you, Bjorn, something doesn't quite seem right. Very close, very good impersonation of a half orc, but there's just something, too many things that aren't adding up. Also with her, a human, Donnie, she's been referring to him, standing in the corner, and this dwarf, Landon. You also, a few of you gave some aliases, Elior being Earl Grey, Bjorn being Landon Lake, Levi being Elior. You started to explain vaguely why you had really gotten in touch with Millie. She knew you got her information from Dovik. She knew that you were kind of full of shit out in the street, but was intrigued. You explained what you knew about a painting, investigators helping a client find an interesting painting. The trail led you to Dovik, Dovik led you to Millie, and now you're here. After a brief, notably kind of strange connection between Millie and Garrick, there was a shift in the room. The moods of the three individuals inside changed. Millie's ditzy demeanor and accent gone, and a more commanding persona took over. She told Donnie to give her a device which she called a truth teller. Set it on the table, resembling sort of a small conical metallic device, a few nodes, buttons. She explained it will unveil a zone of truth within the room. And not only will it subject those of you to the spell, forcing you to speak nothing but truths, but it will also reveal who in the room is actively under the effects of the spell. Realistically, stopping anyone from withholding whether or not their truths are being shared. As she explained, she offered either her, Earl Grey, any of you, to activate the device by pressing a button. If any of you would so choose to investigate or perhaps arcanically, sure, identify the device to ensure that there was no funny business, you're more than welcome to. You all at least agreed in verbal communication that you'd be open to this. And that's where we left off. So Millie has this device set in the middle of the table. She's seated on one side, Garrick is at the far end, and
No, you're
Donnie
not.
is standing right behind her. I believe Tenebris and Landon both just came into the room at the beginning of this, and currently Sud is keeping an eye outside. She'll sort of lean back in her chair,
What the fuck?
temple her fingers. And wait for you.
How can I help you?
It's very
Um,
funny to hear that when I was about to say we probably need Click to do the investigation, but go ahead.
I mean, I was gonna take a look at it too, and I'm pretty good at arcane stuff, so I might just try to sniff out the magic going on with it as my investigation.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation or an arcana check.
So that's not great, but let me just check if there's anything I can do with my ability.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
So I have that psi-bolstered knack thing, which is when non-psionic training fails you, so your psionic powers can help. If you fail an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll an energy dice and add the number. I got a 12, and I imagine that wasn't enough to get that much useful. Is that a good guess?
12. Are you investigation or arcana?
Arcana.
I'll say with the 12, you can verify that it's very likely that this is the spell that is loaded within this device. You know, there are devices that there's sort of been a not just magically imbue devices, but sort of a change in certain items that would generally require somebody to be attuned to them, kind of identity magic working in things. They need a user, an owner. There's been advances recently where items can sort of have a blank identity to run off of whatever power source that enchantment is working off of, sort of is in itself its own identity magic. So you can identify that this let me this is a device like that, so it is not attuned to anybody at this time. It is a freestanding object. And with a 12, you don't there's definitely a little bit more going on with the device than just the spell outright. You imagine it would have to have some additional enchantments to be able to show who was under the effects.
My main concern is that there's some tomfoolery that can occur where they are able to hide that they are resisting the check. So if I burn a psionic dice, can I try to just like deepen that arcana check a bit?
Absolutely.
Cool. Great. It's a 13. Woohoo. So I imagine nothing more.
You are. What roll did you make, Ben?
13. Oh no, it was arcana roll.
Arcana.
Pat, out of curiosity, if I inspired him, would it draw attention?
I'd say you could try to do it stealthily. But she openly said you can check this item out. So if you wanted to not show that you were capable of inspiring someone, I'd ask for either a sleight of hand or a stealth, depending on what exactly you were looking to do for an inspiration. But don't think you have to hide it for these people to not think that you're gonna mess with something. They're open to that. They probably won't jump at a little mechanical magic happening.
I think when you go to check, and if Bjorn will accept it, Elior will rush up next to you as if he forgot something, like kind of eagerly, but non-threateningly. Key there. and hand you a. Trying to think what you would give to enhance someone's Arcana check.
And it has to be
A
something
biscuit.
that- Yeah,
The
sure.
little cookies
Yes.
that you always get with the tea to ground you.
Oh,
Yes. I hand you a little biscuit from my satchel that seems to be glittery. Not because there's glitter in it, because the little magic is floating around it. I'm imbuing it.
Maybe
Bjorn.
like a little demerara sugar.
Yeah.
Yes, and I will turn to the group from the other team and say, he always does better when his blood sugar's regulated. And I'll nod for you to continue. You get
Space Santa's little helper. Yeah, what do I add to it?
a D8.
Tenebris,
made it-
when oh good.
Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say Tenebris, when Elior says that, he's Landon standing right next to you. Go, no, same.
We've made it to the wonderful world of a 16. We're not getting that far, folks.
Okay.
Um,
I will say that breaks at 15. You are able to kind of identify the mechanic that's under work to identify everyone's veracity here. From what you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any additional triggers, any hidden or unnecessary enchantments in this that would allow for anything to happen in one case that wouldn't happen in every
Oh,
case.
good.
So it either won't show truthfully for anyone. If it's like it's tough to tell if it could be just, hey, it's gonna show green for all of us. That's a possibility. But if it shows truthfully for any of you, it will show truthfully for all of you. Is what you can glean from it.
can
I think I follow. Yeah, go ahead.
So can I look and see who's looking at the painting right now other than Bjorn?
You mean the machine?
Oh, you were looking at wait.
Yeah, we're not
What
at
were
the
you
painting
looking at?
anymore. I'm looking at the machine that does the zone of truth.
Oh. I thought we were still looking at the painting for some reason.
We're still not sure what room we're in.
Yeah, clearly.
Why do you think I stuck with Landon? He knows where he is.
You're the navigator.
Yeah,
You should know where we are. No, okay.
I don't navigate land.
Just the depths of space.
Yeah.
So
Landmarks?
instead, I will keep my eyes peeled on a Garrett. Is that his name, right? The guy that has
Garrick.
Was it
Garrick with a
Garrick.
K. Yeah.
Garrick?
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled on Brad Garrick. Because he seems to be the one with the bag of stuff in it, and I don't want him pulling out anything unexpected.
Millie will we'll sort of give it another pause.
Tenebris is gonna look over at Click, and in your mind, Click, it goes real dark and it gets real cold, and you just hear, you know, technology. Is there anything weird with that? I would look, but
Click snaps out of it because she was so trying to just intimidate the dude at the other side of the room that she forgot what was happening.
I know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Also, you are very intimidating. It
Thank
is
you. I'm
very
gonna
successful.
walk across the table.
God, yes.
All right, you walk over to the truth teller.
Sorry.
You want to take a look at it?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead
give it like a really good like once over, like give it a round, kind of like press some bits and bobs,
Yeah.
Is it Arcana?
So Arcana or Investigation, whichever you would prefer. It will be slightly different for what you're looking for, but I'll say you even if you weren't super paying attention, you'll probably, as you get over, Bjorn's probably just finishing his own arcane review of the item.
Yeah. I was paying attention. That is a 13. Womp womp.
It's a neat
Investigate.
device. I would imagine Click has come across some of these devices before. It's an advanced form. The earliest ones you probably saw were things called tuning forks, or sorry, attuning forks, which would kind of find the frequency that any enchantment was sort of acting on that would previously require attunement for a person, and it would sort of be able to find some other will out with the weave, connect to it, and provide either its own source of that power or allow it to be a freely used artifact instead of requiring a single person to take up its arms. Um, uh, it was kind of considered dangerous technology for a bit. So the attuning forks kind of went away. They're rare now. They're a little, the way that they worked was a little broken with anything. This new form is really powerful, but is less easy to just slap on to something that might be very dangerous. You kind of have to build the item around this core, and it's capable of quite a lot. From what you can tell, though, with a 13, there doesn't seem to be anything out of place here. If it's a fake, they have a very good one.
Looks alright to me. It's all,
All right,
magic-y,
well. Yeah.
I like magic, but it's cuckoo bananas.
Captain, as far as we can ascertain, does what it says on the tin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we consent.
Very well, Captain Gray. Would you like to do the honors or me?
I had a moment where I almost spoke how Rodnall would have spoken, so I and I like needed to course correct real quick in my brain. Oh no, you first.
Much appreciated. She will reach over, her middle finger resting just above the little indicator at the top. All right. Presses down on the button. A glimmer is lightly visible. One of the safeguards of devices like this, the magic needs to kind of have usually an illusory effect tied to it, but to sort of show where the bounds are. And you can see, those of you near the edges of the room, it creates this sphere, pretty big, and you can actually see the way that this magic is working is it kind of tries to push the corners out. It's like it's feeling for the edges of a room, making more of a, what do you call that, a cuboid, like you made a box and you put too much air into it and the edges start to bulge out a little bit. That's more of what you're seeing from the shape here. It will encompass all of you. As it gets past you, there's no real, it doesn't tint the air in front of you. It's very much just kind of past you, but you can still see the barrier, knowing where you'd have to leave. As it comes over you, each of you can either make a choice to be truthful, or you can make a charisma saving throw if you would like the opportunity to hold your tongue. Or you can always hold your tongue, but if you would like the opportunity to be capable of mistruths, then roll a charisma saving throw.
Won't the machine know?
Yes, as far as you have been told, the machine should show anybody who has chosen not to tell the truth. They should have and you can even see as this effect has gone, now this little orb has actually begun to float out, sort of coming almost from the machine, counting you all, coming near you, one or two not quite needed, hovering by the truth teller. And each of you about a foot away, this very light, it would look almost like a puff ball if it didn't seem entirely made of light, floats almost like a jellyfish just above your vision. Right now, they're all gray.
I'm gonna look at my jellyfish and say, I am not horny all the time.
It will continue to stay gray. For the purposes of this, if you choose to succumb to the effects, the jellyfish will turn green and remain green, and you as a character cannot lie knowingly. Everything you say does not have to be true, but your character believes it to be true. If you make your charisma save, if any of you wish to do so, as far as you've been told, that jellyfish light will turn red, and you will be indicated as someone who is capable of lying in this space. So do any of you choose to make a save?
No.
I
No.
fail.
You fail, like
Oh,
you
I
rolled and failed?
choose. I choose
Okay.
to fail my save.
Okay. I was like that.
Oh, I was like,
I-
dang,
that
Elior.
they won't know that it doesn't say if you make the roll or not, but that's just a very interesting character choice. As your lights
Oh, no.
flash,
Very much did not roll a dice. I'm letting it happen.
as your lights all flash green, you see Millie, Garrick, Donnie, all green.
Oh, I'm staring
Landon's
at Landon.
floats gray. And he kind of looks about the room.
Don't be a spoil sport. Play the game.
He looks down at his feet. And the light goes green.
Yeah.
Millie will take a moment. Okay, then. It seems we can have a bit of a more relaxed discussion.
What do I feel from her now that we're all green?
You feel her mood hasn't changed much since that first shift into this different persona. It is still, there's tension here, that sort of low, quick violin. But there's this like steady, maybe piano, kind of just keeping this very consistent, no highs, not bringing a lot of tension, but there's a confidence that she's got right now. She was maybe concerned this wasn't gonna happen like this, but almost a leveling. Okay. Few things are in order, I believe, for us to really get to know one another. My name is Rafe Killen.
Oh my. Name
These are
drop.
my associates. They are, as far as I know, Garrick, Donovan, Landon, 3 brothers. I will say none of them are as they seem. Donnie,
does
would you
that
like to
mean?
explain yourselves? I'd rather not. No, not very talkative, you. What does that mean? They are for they are an interesting kind. Uh, really wish one of you. Landon will kind of. He looks at you, Tenebris, for a moment. You, intimidated isn't the correct word, but in that direction of he was planning on handling this scenario differently, and
Hmm.
from how you first kind of took that, he wasn't able to take the back. He feels a little too, this isn't going as easily to disassociate for him, which is kind of how he goes. We are a race called Paladins. We're not generally accepted in our own forms. In fact, there are a few swaths, a few stretches, I suppose, of this galaxy where we are less than welcome. And I think it's entirely fair. As a society, we failed. I don't think much of this is important for the conversation continuing. But I suppose if honesty is honesty, perhaps taking the first step here will push some better conversation. He's not able to look any of you in the eye, but he will step forward, kind of taking center room is the table, but he's standing right next to the table. And as he does, his hand, he'll kind of stretch it out, and that dwarven hand starts to change. The fingers get a little stumpier, unwrinkled. His sort of olive skin pales, really pales, blanch white. And that hand kind of turns almost into this like white stub. There's little like nubs on it where fingers are. You can even still see there's some movement, some odd convexness to the hand and the arm. And as he kind of, his body all starts to kind of change. And you see this sort of white Blob is a little too amorphous. There's mostly humanoid shape to him, but you can even see that that itself kind of seems to have been tied to that dwarven form he was in. And it does seem like it's reverting more to a baseless shape. Paladins are unlike a doppelganger or a shape changer. This is not a polymorph. Any creature we come in contact with, we are able to replicate their DNA.
Hmm.
It takes many years to fully understand this. It does not allow us to replicate that body as a mirror image. It instead gives us the instructions on how to build it. And it's not fucking easy. And he'll look and he goes, that's why he looks like that. And he points at Garrick. And you can see there's a little bit of his neck that like just doesn't look right. It kind of like goes too into his shoulder. It's not a disability. It just looked kind of wrong. And you can see as he's sitting there, it kind of moves a little. Like muscle pulls, but then it doesn't go back. So that's us.
So you talked us into a room where we're all telling the truth, but you've already stolen our genetic information.
Landon will look and that I have not done to any of you.
Oh, all right. So you got to make physical contact. It's not just like
Yes.
you're caught my vibe and now you have my DNA.
That's correct.
All
And
right.
all of you will can remember, since you've been in contact with them, the street meeting and here. I think maybe Millie you had touched in the street. You haven't shaken any of the gentlemen's hands. You haven't come into physical contact with any of them, and none of them have tried to slyly like grab you, pat you. They've all been, and they will. Each of them will even, maybe not Donnie. Donnie's intention is to say nothing in this conversation. You'll get that vibe. But Landon and Garrick will both say, we haven't touched any of you. That's not what this interaction was intended for.
What's Millie's actual name?
Rafe.
Rafe Killen.
I gotta tell you, and this is it's a little, you know, it's not as bad. I mean, it sounded tough at the beginning, and then I thought we were gonna go in a direction where like to steal somebody's DNA, you had to like eat them or something. I don't know. There's been a lot of crazy shit happening, so I gotta tell you, just touching, I'm a little bit cooler with it. Whew.
Yeah, I mean, you can be whoever you are if you're not stealing my shit. So,
Yeah. Or eating me.
although I feel like Bjorn would have an equivalent of the have we met Ragnall roll right now.
Yeah, so I actually, as I was explaining them and going through, I would say as a matter of your position in the galaxy, I would say Bjorn, Tenebris, and Levi have all absolutely heard of Paladins. I'd say each of you can make a history roll to see if you have ever actively come in contact with them. But I'd say each of you have done enough exploring and been to enough parts of the galaxy. You have seen like anti-Paladin um, laws in places, ports where they'll do scans, which are not accurate. It's a tough scenario.
What would Elior know?
Elior, I'd say Elior and Click have probably probably heard of them. They're not an unknown species.
Mhm.
I'd say Elior, there probably were one or two times where maybe there was like a scare at the port where it's like you use safe words, you have that like things that you put in place for like doppelganger, shape changers, people that can disguise self, and like safe codes like that, but things that push past like biometric scans do not care about Paladins. Like you need mental memories. They can't take your memories. They don't know what we know. That you probably have heard that kind of like safety talk. Um, did either of the three of you who have been kind of more out there roll any history?
I did pretty bad. I got a 12.
I reversed it and got a 21.
Whoo!
9.
9. Okay. Um, Levi, yeah, I'll say you've probably heard similar to what Elior has. I'll say you, Spike probably has been able to give you a bit more info on they like even kind of what Summer Landon said. They're like species aren't inherently bad. That's just not a thing. This society of Paladins that was the sort of their mother culture was in very corrupt. A lot of the most powerful people in that culture, their goal was to capture as much DNA as possible to be able to infiltrate any society as any member. People would trade in DNA, kill other Paladins who had DNA, and you take everything that they have, and they murdered each other for that ability. They used to be in the most active species in this galaxy number in the trillions. Paladins number at best in the 10 millions. There are less than 50 million of them left in the galaxy. That's a big number, but given how many star systems there are there, 3 in one room probably doesn't happen very often. Outside of some of their home settlements. I would say with a 12, Bjorn, you probably know pretty similar. Um, yeah, that their society really, most people assume that in the next 1,000 years that number is gonna have, and that they've kind of reached a point of extinction. Um, in the grand scheme of things, that they probably won't really ever go extinct, but there isn't any longer a real hope that that species can rebuild. And most of them, they have very long lives if they survive. um they all remember everything that happened, and there's just too much bad blood for they're very factioned. um with a 21, Tenebris, I would even go so far to say as you have entertained Paladins in your court. Um, or I don't know if the Void had a court. I won't go so
Yeah,
far as that,
because
but
when I came, we needed to start talking to people, so absolutely would have a court.
yeah. And you saw I would say probably a fair number of kind of how the variety goes. Um, a ton of cell swords. They're physically robust. They're the best spies that money can buy. Um, and a lot of them, especially after most of what happened to the society was hundreds of years ago. Um, a lot of them just want to make their day, enjoy their lives, and live on as long as they're able to, and kind of forget about what happened. Um, there's a number of them that kind of crusade to clean the name, and really fight for Paladin rights. They think that it's unfair that there's such a targeting in certain parts of the galaxy and governments. There's a lot of governments that it's simply unallowed for Paladins to act as any acting body. and they have been getting some more rights, but you also would know that some of the most ruthless assassins that you've ever encountered were paladins. They are unbelievably powerful because when you steal someone's actual DNA and you learn how to rebuild from the ground up, if they are if they have abilities, if they are touched in some way, you can unlock that. And if you spend hundreds of years training, even with people who are long dead, you can resurrect them and bring nightmares back from the dead.
I
Millie,
pass that to
sorry.
everybody.
Okay.
I love
Um,
that Elior's just like, whoa, and then gets this lore dump from Tenebrae.
I had one question. Oh, with a 21, would I have heard of, because like the boss bitch is dead, right? Would I have heard of anything of like them getting dead people's DNA and then bringing people back from the dead? Or it just sort of it's a thing they can do?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That that's something you actually, it's sort of tangential to paladins. That's not something they do in their society
Okay.
because it requires sacrifice. Because to resurrect someone from a paladin's DNA, which you absolutely can do, that paladin dies. So unless they're done, no one's signing up for that. But if you have a paladin that you know is Harley the Fifth, yeah, you sacrifice them, you true resurrect her, and now you have that person back, not just paladin, but really them. And that's almost ghost story. I would say the 21, you've heard of that. You're not sure if that's happening anywhere, but if you can think it, it probably is.
Thank you.
Absolutely. As Landon will kind of quiet up, Rafe will tap her nails on the table and she'll go, okay. So now we've set a little bit of a scene, and I know we just told you truths you weren't asking for, and we're going to pretend like that was some sort of currency. But I think we've at least shown a little bit. So I'd like to ask you a question. Any of you? You're looking for this painting for these clients that led you to Dovik. I'm not going to ask you to turn over your clients. I mean, I know who they are, but I'm not going to make you confirm that. You seem like the type of people who have integrity.
That color doesn't change when she says that, right?
No, at this time the color is unable to change.
Oh, okay.
Until the spell is done, lies are they will get stopped at her lips.
Gotcha.
I was never much of one for integrity, but it has its places, certainly. The people, I believe, who are asking you to find this painting I believe walk that back. The painting that you're looking for, the Ganungagat, Am I right? I don't know. I don't remember if you named it when you were explaining it to her.
No. I did not name it, but she has the name correct, as you very well know as the DM.
Um, what do you know about it?
I have a quick clarifying question for you, Pat. Is she implying that she is also a paladin?
No, no.
Okay. So she just has a troop of paladins with
Yeah,
her.
she named her. She didn't tell you what type of species she is. I mean, she looks like a half orc to you. But she just named herself Rafe Killen instead of Millie Gilfborg.
Okay.
And then said that these are three brothers and they are not as they appear.
I just wanted to confirm when she said we have, I was like, oh dear, there's a lot of paladin plot commences.
Oh yeah, no, she is not. These are just
No.
her goons.
So the question was, what do we know about it? And Elior will say, we know it is called the Gununga Gap. We know that it was taken, and we know that it is not all that it seems.
Okay. That's fair. Now, when you say you know it was taken, do you mean you know it was taken from your clients, or do you mean you know your clients took it?
We were told, and correct me if I lie here, it's because of my memory, not because of
You're good.
intention. By them that they were given to it. They were given it by someone who they believe stole it. They were really suspicious about how he acquired it.
Elior will actually go one step further than that and say, we also had an eyewitness. Pat, Elior saw this painting get stolen.
Yes, she did.
But I did not say it was me. I just said we have an eyewitness. That is the truth.
That you have an eyewitness.
That's how we got a lead on the case. Group of assailants entered the shop, left with the painting.
How many?
Pat, how many were there?
There were 4.
There were 4. Eyewitness also reports having found the individuals on the scene injured.
That's interesting. Would you be surprised to learn that we do not possess this painting at this time?
I would not. Oh, go ahead, Pat.
And we're not the ones to remove it from your client.
I would not be surprised, and that's not why I called this meeting. But I was hoping you could help me. And Elior will genuinely smile.
Why?
I know this seems very strange. But we are people of integrity, and we tend to approach people with the mindset that we are all in good faith. So unless you have any reason to show me otherwise, I was told you might have some information that could help me, so I came to ask you some questions. Pat, the tactic here is to be so disarmingly kind to them that they are just like, what?
She's thinking. What? Okay. I think we would be open to that.
I'd like to insight that. I don't know if we
Absolutely, you can.
I don't know if we want to treat this as like an empathy check or like a motive check.
Um,
Because
which would you prefer? I'd say you can roll insight and have it be empathy and try and gauge what her emotions are right now, or you can do a straight up insight and try and get more of if is there a motivation she seems to be pushing for.
I'm going to go for motivation. Clarification. I assume that the empathy check is insight plus my charisma, but you tell me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I will do my regular insight, which is not as good. That's a 14.
Okay. You piqued her interest. She You notice she was expecting you to be surprised that she didn't have the painting. Her calculations were running up that Dovik passed her off as the likely culprit, and she's got a crew already. They went through, they took this painting back, and the fact that that's not surprising to you to hear in this truth set her off for a second, and now she's all right. She doesn't quite know what you're in on, but she's curious enough, and you get the feeling she might need some help.
Oh, of
There's a
course she
reason.
does.
There's a reason she walked into this hotel today.
Yeah.
Answered a cold call from a stranger to meet in a street, and then meet those strangers in their own hotel. There's a reason she's here too.
Mhm.
You mean it wasn't my fluttering eyelashes?
90% was
helped.
the fluttering eyelashes. I'll be
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt this tense conversation, but if I don't ask this question in the next 5 seconds, I'm going to explode. Uh Garrick, how does your people in your true form hold a pencil?
Elior is going to look to Rafe and say, actually, no, I don't think he'd be quite that flippant. He'd go, Elior, because I remember that you called yourself Elior.
Oh no, my name's not Elior. I used that as a cover name. I thought it was funny.
Friend, I think that is a really good question that could probably be answered after the conversation's over.
Or it's a macro question, or they don't use pencils.
As all of this is happening, Landon, who is still in his blob form, will kind of like elbow you, and with one kind of cupped hand, he will pick up a pen from the table and insert his hand into his other with the pen, and then he kind of seems to pull the first hand out, and he's just sort of like there's just a pen tip poking out from like the proboscis there, and he just kind of like writes like sup on a notepad, and then it just sort of gets secreted out of his hand, plops on the table.
Peter.
I think Elior's going to turn to Rafe and go, so how can we help? And more importantly, how can we help each other? Because I assume we both didn't come into this meeting just because we're curious.
No, definitely not. So the purpose of the truth teller for me is twofold. First, make sure we can be open and honest with each other. Find that gets harder and harder these days. People are good at deceiving. And trust me, I know I live with three fuckers who never like to look the right way. The second part for me, though, is I will have a very clear answer to this question right here. I would like to hire you, but I need reassurance that you all can keep your mouths shut tighter than a rat's fucking ass squeezing through a glacier. Do you understand me? Because our ass is in the fucking jackpot right now. So I will say this. If you are not comfortable holding a secret for people who you do not fucking know and who require something like this to even have a conversation, then that's fine with me. I got bigger fucking fish to fry. Me and the boys will head out of here. I appreciate your time. I do not know where that painting is. Please do not get in my way. And I got no problem with you. I hope you don't call me again. Otherwise, let's see if we can do business.
So two things, Pat. First of all, did she just admit to not knowing where the painting is for real?
Absolutely. She has no
Okay.
fucking clue.
So this is a second quest line. Just confirming that I understand that this would be related, maybe parallel, but not the same. Okay. And then number two, does she seem desperate? I'm talking emotions.
She desperate is not the right word. This woman doesn't seem like desperation is something that she gets to very often. But she is serious as a heart attack, and desperation is her next step. She's here because she doesn't think she's quite desperate yet, but this isn't where she wants to be. You're definitely getting her. This is her play right now. If she can get you to agree to be cool, she's got some more shit to drop. But this is her lead right now.
All right. Elior will say, I appreciate your honesty. Before you say anything, I'd like to talk to my crew.
That's fair.
Okay. I look around to everybody and I kind of like gesture for a huddle.
She'll stand up and she'll go, when we leave the zone, our lights will stand by the edge. When we return, they will reactivate upon us. Is that okay with you?
Understood.
Right. Four of them will walk out of the room.
We're all alone.
Did we give Landon time to re-Landon himself?
He hasn't yet. He probably will. There's like just a little vestibule as you get like out of the zone and just before the door where you see he kind of is.
Okay.
He takes a moment. It's not a fast. It's slower going than coming out. And you can see he's like, it's almost like a 2D poly background PS2 version of Landon shows up, and like he's like, I can go out the door like this, and they leave. I imagine Sud will come in to hear the conversation or can stay outside to keep eye if you prefer that.
Before they leave, I will ask if the machine has any surveillance capabilities on it.
She'll turn and go, it doesn't, but I got no problem turning it off and reactivating it when we return if you prefer. I don't know if you all like to lie to each other.
No, I trust my crew to be truthful. That means you can turn it off for now.
All right. She'll walk back in, press the button down. The orbs will all sort of fly back into it. All right. Knock when you're ready for us.
Trying to think. We don't have eyes on the front door, so we don't know if they're listening in.
Captain, I do not think you need to worry that much.
Oh, Ryan was thinking out loud. But Elior probably look worried once they leave. Like he just kind of goes, "Oh, okay."
Can I have my one little beetle go outside and just give me a signal if they're right there or not? Like I can't see through them, but they can come back inside and like wiggle left and right for no, like shaking, and up and down for yes.
Oh, I love the Beatles.
Yeah, we will come back in.
Oh, okay, we're good.
Um, is being is this are things usually this eventful when you're traveling around the universe?
No.
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
agree with Bjorn this time. It is usually planned.
Okay, so let me just recap what we just heard. Millie, puts that in quotes, is knows something and needs our help or would like our help, but is not really the thing to do it would require holding on to a huge secret. And can confirm she would like help.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like we don't know what she wants from us.
You know, Levi, that's a really, really good observation because the problem is, in order to get more information, she'd have to tell us the big, scary secret.
Does she? Have we? Lunar is asking. Because neither of them know. Have we ever told Millie we're a detective agency, or are we just weirdos who phoned her looking for painting?
You told her last session that you were a detective agency.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good
That
question.
assuages all of my worries.
Yes.
I was like, if she thinks we're all sorts, she's so buddy.
Let's get down to brass tacks here. I don't think any of us want to be on the planet that much longer.
I don't think we
But-
can be.
What was that?
We can't be. We only have a 7-day pass.
That's
How
right.
many days is a fucking bed?
Um,
2.
on the other hand, this is another opportunity for renown and money. On the other hand, this is incredibly desperate to talk to a group of people who previously tried to bamboozle you into buying their robot and then being like, I'll trust you with secrets of an incredible nature. 6 of one, half a dozen of another. I'm kind of curious what she has to say. Unless it's something truly heinous, I am happy just to carry around another secret. And if the money's good, the money's good. But it better be something that we can resolve quickly.
Sorry, am I the only one that is like very much against this?
No, I'm like 50-50. This doesn't seem great.
This sounds like fun. I'm all for it. I like secrets.
I looked
Secrets
to
make friends.
Yeah. I looked to Tenebris.
Okay, but Click is so excited, and if I say what I am going to say, she will not be excited. And
That-
I do not want that.
Click,
So,
would you be okay if Tenebris speaks their truth?
I only want people to speak their truth. It's dumb if you don't. Not dumb, but Let's go.
I have learned some deep held secrets, and there is always a way to get them out of someone. And I don't want us to volunteer for that kind of torture. Because it is not fun to inflict, and I would like to think that you all are my friends, and it would make me very sad to have those things inflicted on you.
You know what? You were right. I'm less excited now.
Do you
I knew you would not be as excited.
I'm still excited, but less so.
Okay, good. That is all right then.
do you mean that you are worried that we will hurt them by having them share their secret, or that we will be hurt having to carry their secret?
Oh, no, people will hurt us because we know the secret.
That is very true.
And in my experience, once you know it, that's it. Pretty much you are obligated to do what they ask you to do, or else they kill you.
I didn't really think about that. Yeah, if we say, "What's the secret?" and they're like, "Here's a horrible truth about me," and we're like, "Goodbye," that's probably not going to shake out well.
Right. So this is what we should ask before we just blindly agree to helping them without even knowing what it is. We
Oh,
first ask, can you
What-
tell us what the job is without telling us what the secret is? They say yes or no. If they say no, then we ask, okay, what happens once we know the secret?
that was what I was planning. Elior says, and he sounds really confident, but you can also tell that he's almost a little bit like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That right there, Levi. That's exactly what I was. That was exactly how I was going to approach it. But
So good.
um, I agree. It would be very silly to follow them without any more information. And I really don't want anyone to get hurt telling secrets. So I like that approach. Ask about the logistics, and if they sound reasonable, ask about the logistics. Ask if we can ask about them without the secret, and confirm if we can know about the secret before we take the job, and it wouldn't have any issues, or it wouldn't be used as leverage. But I have to be honest. I turn to Levi. I am also kind of worried about this.
I have a question. Did we get any information of what if she's actually part of the Goodrelites or not last session? I don't quite remember. Did we ask her? And now she's got this new funky fucking badass name.
We don't know very much about her at all. She just showed up and said, "I'm about to lore dump on
You
you."
know what I'm thinking, Kat? I'm thinking they asked us a lot of questions, but we didn't ask them a lot of questions, and we got a lot more questions to ask before we say fucking anything.
I don't think they asked us anything really.
Well,
No.
fuck. Well, they told us a whole bunch of shit, and they told their little narrative, and you know, if you guys are all skeptical, why aren't you guys suggesting asking questions? Jesus Christ, I'm on go. I don't know who Jesus Christ is, but fuck.
That starts to click some things into place for Elior, and he says, "She does seem confident, not desperate, not sound, but I don't think she sees this as a bad decision, which means that she thinks she's got the upper hand in this whole thing."
Which should make us more careful.
Oh,
She
I
also, I think, thinks she's very powerful because we have this big fancy machine that she just kind of left us with. Can I actually investigate the machine to make sure there's not like a ticking time bomb or something happening here?
That'd be funny.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Where'd my dice go? Now I'm nervous. I'm gonna blow up.
But you're
Oh my
gonna be so
fucking God,
intimidating.
13 again.
You catch the little
Oh.
clock ticking from 6, 5.
no.
Everyone make a deck save. No,
Not another campaign with a big bomb. We already did this. Come on.
no, there's it seems to just be powered off.
Okay.
Uh, fuck.
Listen, I say all of this under the big pretext that I will go with what everyone wants to do. But I have decided that I am looking after all of your safety. Even though you do not need it, I am choosing that to do.
You
And
know, oh, go sorry.
no, that was pretty much it. I was probably going to awkwardly ramble a little bit further, so thank
I
you
am
for stopping me.
insulted you think I need protection.
No, I said that you don't need protection, but I'm choosing to be that minded.
Levi, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but are you thinking of the word concern?
What's that?
That is not the same as protection.
Well,
Even if you swap the word, the sentences still don't make sense.
well, when you really want to protect something and you're worried that it will get hurt, that's a kind of concern.
Oh, then that.
Oh, that is fine then.
That was
So-
a very fun conversation. I enjoyed it.
I've been thinking on all this, and here's my conclusion. We have no other leads on this painting. I know she says she knows nothing. I believe her. Whatever she wants us to do, maybe we'll at least kick up something in the air, get us moving in the right direction again. I'm starting to feel like I'm for this, because if we say no to her, we're high and dry, and we might as well just get out of here.
When she said the thing about the painting, was it specifically, I don't know where the painting is? Or, okay, that was her exact wording, right? That doesn't mean that she doesn't know more about the painting.
She seemed to know enough to be able to, she wanted to hear about the crime. That implies that she has some sort of interest in the whole situation.
Then I think we need to negotiate what's in it for us before we agree to anything. Just like Levi said. All right. Do we agree that I will get a little more context? And if it sounds like we have no liability, we might want to learn more.
Yeah.
I will turn to Sud to go fetch our new contacts.
All right.
I just wanted to say real quick while we're waiting for them. Before this, I mostly did shipping missions, some raiding of ruins, and occasionally some killing. And those are a lot easier. Someone's like, "Can you move this plutonium across the galaxy?" And you go, "Yes, I can," and then you do it. It's not, "I have a vast and dark secret that you might find out that might be related to another thing." They're like, "Go kill this guy," and I'm like, "All right."
Elior looks at Bjorn and goes, Bjorn, is that true? Because I feel like in the last 7 days, all it's been is reveals of big dark secrets.
Yeah, most space travel is just kill this guy, move this plutonium, dig up these ancient ruins.
Oh,
I
So if
have
you like
never,
this, great, I guess, but this is weird.
what were you going to say, Lunar?
I have never encountered plutonium. I must be running in the wrong circles.
It's very radioactive, and it's a bitch and a half to move. You count yourself lucky.
I was almost on the fence of never encountered plutonium, or it was one of the gifts given to you at your birth. Just
No,
old
you
frankincense
think I had a
plutonium.
birth and got gifts, please?
Yes.
I am the gift.
Frankincense
You
and plutonium.
Oh my god, the three wise men, but of the idiots of the wood would be so funny.
I kind of need to commission an artist for the holidays to do a nativity scene, but it's just Tenebris at the center.
Now, is it a little shrunk down baby Tenebris, or is it just a full grown?
No, it's a little shrunk down baby Tenebris, and Joseph and Mary are replaced just by like spooky dark oozes.
I'm
The
so
bottom it
sorry.
says. At the bottom it says big letters, "Bitch, I am the gift."
but it absolutely uses the text that you used, Ben, to write elbow.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't know what you call that, but that is 100%.
The Zalgo text?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I just threw random accents on it, but yeah.
Yeah, there's umlauts, but it's going deeper. There's triangles, cuneiform added.
Just some like cuneiform between friends.
Yeah.
Whew.
I guess I'll never forget when we were gifted the
I just
Um,
real quick. This is double funny because one, Tenebris is the gift. Two, my name Anjali is overabundant blessing, so technically I'm the gift.
Oh,
so
wow.
it's double.
Oh, look
Ah!
at that!
Double
Oh.
gift.
This is
Boom.
the time to tell you that my name means little king. So,
just a low.
oh, I
A
need
little one.
I need a tissue. I'll be right back.
You hear said moving back, coming down the hallway. They gave you a decent bit of room, and will walk back in. Rafe kind of up first and is, everyone okay with the machine being reactivated?
Yeah, go ahead.
She'll pop the button and go sit down. Their whole team will pop up green. Any of you resist this time?
Nope.
All right. When it's all back green, Rafe will go, for posterity's sake, none of us did any eavesdropping, did we, boys? No.
Well, the captain's
You-
currently blowing his nose, so I can get started unless one of y'all wants to. All right. Before we get going. Oh shit! I don't remember the questions. David, it was your idea. You start.
All right, so is it possible that you're able to tell us what you need help with without actually telling us this big secret?
Absolutely. I'd like you to discover the whereabouts and return to me the painting, the Gununga Gap. I believe it's already a quest you're working on, so I don't think I'm asking you to do much outside of your purview. Aside from perhaps double-crossing a client, which I would be more than happy to compensate you for.
I'm trying to remember. Didn't even the clients kind of say like we're not even sure we want it back? Did I make that up?
No, I'm pretty sure they want it back because they told the director they had it and he was gonna pay them for it. And now
Oh,
they don't have it to give to him.
Yeah, they tried a double-cross play, and the director has been told that they had this painting, and now they don't have it. So they believe that their lives are now on the line if they don't have this painting to return.
right. Cool.
It-
That makes things way more complicated than I thought.
And is this secret to help us in this endeavor?
The secret is to help explain part of the scenario.
Mm.
I believe it will help you in the endeavor to understand.
Tenebris steps forward. What level of torture would be required to extract this information from one?
Good question.
A bit more direct than I probably would have phrased that, bud.
Not so that I'm. Thank you, Click. I am not looking to extract the information from you. I
Yeah.
am looking to gauge the severity of your secret.
I am though gonna take that tone and I'm gonna look over at the dude. I don't remember what fucking dude I was fucking sitting next to next time, and I'm gonna be like,
You had been me mugging Garrick earlier.
you.
Oh
yeah.
She appreciates the clarification.
Jennifer's appreciates Click.
Hi, sorry, it's me again. What did I miss?
It's me.
She
Garrick.
wants us to
everything is
steal
fine.
The group
from
agreed
her.
to the deal for a few pennies. It's all
Okay.
good.
I heard that there was. I heard parts of it, but I didn't hear all of it. What's going on?
The job that she would like you to do, you do not need to know the secret to know the job. She would like you to find the whereabouts of the painting, the Ganunga Gap, and return it to her. She understands that this would put you in a position of double crossing your current client, and she is more than happy to overly compensate you for that choice. And then Tenebris asked, what level of torture would be required to extract
Right,
the
yep.
information that is of a level of her secret, I believe was the intention there.
Click fixed it afterwards, and we got to to know the severity of your secret. But yes,
It was slightly threatening though at the beginning. How much do I have to torture you to get this information out?
Yeah, no.
It did seem.
Listen, neither Tenebris or I remember that it could go that way. So thank you.
The information that I would require reassurance from you before sharing is something that I would die before giving up freely to someone who I could not trust. Because the information to be found out by somebody who I could not trust would result in my death. So it is not worth it for anyone who I cannot ultimately know is telling me the truth.
If you don't get the painting back, are you in dire danger?
She's really considering her words being under this effect. There is a likelihood that I survive the events of the next month if the painting remains unfound or is returned to the director. It is a very small chance, as far as I can see. Certain events have already been put into motion that would be devastating for what we have begun. And while I believe my crew is more than prepared to find their ways to safety, I have less of a safety net.
Pat, the people that we are helping, I remember that the main reason we are helping them is because they had a painting stolen, and that is very bad.
Yeah,
And-
so that was something else that Tenebris
Yeah.
did bring up. I don't know if it was actually actively shared, but you would all, it's only been a few days, you would all actively remember. Yes, Liam and Deborah found out that this painting was worth a lot more than Dovik thought it was worth when two art enthusiasts came asking for it, offering
That's right.
exponentially higher. They then decided to go to the director
To try to
to
haggle it.
try
Yep.
and haggle it back for an even larger sum.
Mhm.
And then it was stolen. So they
Okay.
believe if it is not returned to them very quickly, the director will find them and eliminate them.
Gotcha.
As is his wont.
So Rafe sees this as us getting it back to the director so that this is helping. So Eliar is
No. Specifically what she had said, because I might have been a little confusing. She said, if the painting remains unfound
Found.
or is returned to the director, there's a very high likelihood that she dies.
Ah, okay.
But the job is to return it to her?
The job is to return it to her.
Well, we already have a job that says to give it to somebody else.
Yes.
So, like hypothetically, how much more money are you going to give us to break that contract and do yours?
I would say
Just what,
on the without an understanding of what you have agreed in your previous contract and the final negotiation point, I do believe would need to be confirmed after everything is said and done. But I would be open and prepared to provide, at minimum, double what you have been offered.
Okay.
Do we have a time frame deadline to complete this by?
by the time we have to be off the planet, probably.
I will say this. Let's separate things. Assuming you're prepared to say yes to this, you're prepared to accept the offer, and in doing so, the secret that we need to share in order to continue the investigation for our purposes, I am prepared to offer you, we'll call it a trailing sum. Separate from what you have already claimed on your previous contract. I will double that. That is for breaking your contract. I understand that is a big ask for people who have told me truthfully, or perhaps I walked myself into that one. But integrity is something that you uphold in your group. I understand breaking a contract is something that does not go lightly on people with a lot of integrity. So, double that. That is its own piece. I'm prepared to pay you. We'll call it 5,000 credits if you can return the painting within 1 day. 4,002, 3,003, 2,004, 1,005. And I believe if you can't return the painting to me within 5 days, I won't be here to pay you.
And that is on top of the sum that you would pay, double of our previously agreed contract.
Within reason. I understand. I will not ask you to name Liam and Deborah, but I believe these two hooligans are at the heart of this mess. You do not need to confirm that. I understand, again, the point of integrity. If I am correct, though, the two of them cannot scrape together quite so much. Don't lie to me, and I am happy to double their fee. I could even go above double if they truly were more of a moral job for you to get something under your belt.
Okay. Elior's got a bunch of questions. This entire time as everyone's been asking questions, he's been doing the thing where he's trying to jump in, but then he keeps getting cut off, and it's very
Sorry.
cute in my brain. No, it's cute. I think it's adorable. But Riot has a question first of reminding me what reward we agreed upon, because they did scrape together money.
So
And
I
access to
know
the painting. Yeah, that was the other one.
there was access to the painting. There was an item from their sort of their special collection, what they don't really put out for display in their antique
Yes.
shop, the things that actually have magical value. They offered you at least one item from that collection. no, that's too far. Wrong planet.
This is normally the part where I'd apologize for not remembering these details, but I'm gonna give myself so much grace.
Good.
Yeah, I didn't have a credit value. I had that they offered you effectively a quality item. But I think they kind of were saying they really didn't have much as far as money. There was an emerald necklace that was kind of or no, it was a sapphire brooch. That was it. That he kind of kept talking about. So likely pretty high quality. But yeah, I don't think they had any actual dollars that they could offer.
So I have a thought, like Ryan has a thought, and in my brain, it maintains our integrity while also getting us deeper into the mystery. But Ryan is concerned because it's been a week that I'm not following, but I don't want to metagame and be like, this is what I'm thinking.
I mean, I'm curious.
I think you and I might have the same thought, Ryan.
Yeah, so we asked them to pay us what we estimate to be the value of the artifact times 2 and say that we would like to take a look at the painting when we see it, do this job for Rafe, and then give the shopkeepers the money that they need to get the item from them, because we would have effectively gotten the director off their back at that point because we could implicate Rafe.
Oh yeah, we're all on the same page. Or I'm wondering
Yeah.
if Wraith is just going to give it to the director.
Yeah. Well, either way, we fulfill the brief, which is we got them their money. We got the director off their back. We got time with the painting. They just don't get the painting.
I think
Which
they're
is-
probably gonna want the painting.
I mean, that's the icky part.
Yeah.
It's not like we don't come out of it 100% unscathed, but it would not be against the spirit of our contract.
Maybe we get a bit more information, but yeah, I think I'm on the same path of like, if this can help the ex-gutter lights get off the planet, or at least get the dude off their back, and it keeps this person alive, and we get more money. I mean, win-win-win.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm curious if the rest of the crew would agree to that. And that's. But I think I can call a timeout before we agree to anything again, because this seems like a flexible bunch. So now with that, Elior will ask, if you told us your secret and we did not agree to take the job, would that make us your enemies?
No. However, to the previous point, I would warn you to stay out of our way. Because I understand if you would not take this job, my expectation would be that you would continue with your current job. And I would fight for my life to ensure that the painting did not fall into the hands of anyone but me. I would not consider you direct threats. As I said before, I would walk out of here hands clean. I will not surveil you. But if in my investigations I cross paths with you and your intention is to stand before us from reaching our own goals, protecting our own lives, I do not have a choice but to fight for mine.
Can I do an insight check on her? I'd like to know if this is coming from a place of I need the painting, or if this is coming from a similar place to the other dude who I need this thing, I'm being eaten alive by the tattoo. $22.
Damn.
This
Shit.
is a good dice. I like this dice.
She can stay.
I will say with a 22, you have been able to pick up through her conversation because she needs to tell you specifically the truth. The physical painting seems very important to her. And it's unclear why, but something she has set in motion, something her and her crew, somehow they've set something up. It's gotten deeper, and it seems like it somehow involves the painting.
Thank you.
I think.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's for the most part what you'd be able to get.
Okay.
Were you the ones responsible for whoever pursued us after we met on the street?
No, you were pursued.
We don't know by who.
But you know you were pursued.
We were not pursued afterwards. If that's
Oh.
what you were wondering.
I suppose I was just looking for clarification. So you know not who sent your pursuers, but you know who your pursuers were?
I can wager a guess as to who sent them. I've been told that certain organizations' names shouldn't be said out loud in Regma.
You've heard correctly.
Well, needless to say, one of their final words were that we were severely underestimated. Elior smiles and takes a sip of his tea.
That's not good news.
I'd understand if that changes your disposition. But you'd understand that I'd want to be transparent. I wouldn't want somebody who was testing my combat prowess to be the same person offering me a job.
Understood. No. But I wouldn't be surprised if your other inclination was correct. Especially if you hadn't been heeding that warning.
Sometimes you need experience to really understand the meaning of something. Which is my way of saying I have wisened up since then.
I feel like I'm at least willing to officially say we can cut the crap and find out what's really going on here. That's just my advice.
I'm looking to the crew for verbal or non-verbal feelings.
Are we able to utilize your friends if we needed it?
You say my friends, do you mean the crew in this room? Or are you referring to the organization of which we will not speak?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm not great with words yet, apparently. The people in this room, you are associates in this room.
If you accept the job, then yes, I would look for your assistance, not your substitution. You would be more than welcome to work in tandem with our team. And she actually, kind of pausing for a moment, she'll look over her shoulder at Donovan. She'll go, and we'll listen and help. Won't we?
Donovan. A
He
rascal.
still has said almost nothing. The only word he has said in the truth is confirming he didn't eavesdrop on you. He gave a no. That's it. He hasn't said anything else.
Elior is going to take a deep breath and will say, "Oh no, we'll be looking to Levi to confirm if that was sufficient enough for you." Okay. Elior will take a deep breath and say, "I have one final question before we proceed." Well, not a question. If we agree to do this for you and hear your secrets, once we're done the job, we owe you nothing. Or your organization.
Once the job is completed, you will be compensated. We will go our separate ways. You owe me and my crew nothing. You owe any organization that I or any of us are a part of anything.
And our involvement in this matter is kept discreet to the best of your ability.
I, right here, will promise that your involvement with any job I have asked you to do will stay as tightly lipped as what I am asking you to keep for us.
All right?
And my wording is very intentional there.
Ryan needs to run through it and make sure there wasn't any.
She specifically said, "I will be as tight-lipped as you will about my shit."
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So unless you give her reason to talk, then your shit is completely fine.
All right. Elior looks up and says, "All right. Let's hear it."
I would appreciate, spoken from each of you, the information that we are about to hear, regardless of whether we take the job or not, shall not leave the participants of this room without the threat of imminent death.
I say that.
Yeah, I
All
didn't
right.
give a very clean sentence for you guys to repeat. So.
Tenebris remembers it all and says it word for word.
You can say it in your own way. She effectively is trying to say, you're not gonna rat on us, but like, don't kill yourselves for my secret. If it's really down to that, I'm not gonna ask you to die for it, but you won't. I can trust that you're not just gonna go blab about this.
Yeah.
It's very well.
We're not gonna Dovik her.
Do you say that out loud?
No, absolutely not.
I that would be very interesting.
Oh my god,
Uh,
Tenebris would just be smited from the sky.
She goes, very well. Rafe killing was a gamble already to share. Rafe killing is not a persona known by the organization I will refer to as sewer trash.
We were going with Green Lanterns or gay ladies, but yeah, sewer trash works too.
Clever. Millicent Gilfborg is a real person. She has been since childhood. She went to school in Rebma. I have lived a very long time as this person. The director of the gutter lights is an abysmal thing. Have any of you encountered? I'm sure you have. Her eyes kind of glancing over a few of you. I'll rephrase. Do you know how unbelievably fucking annoying dealing with the Fae can be?
Oh god.
Oh my god, yes.
Yep.
The director is of their kind.
Oh.
These devices
Of-
actually are a spurring of his. He believes the Godelites should all speak truth. These are active in all of our halls. We are not allowed to willfully lie in the presence of the director. Which is why Millicent Gilfborg is a real person. I am Millicent Gilfborg. I am not lying about that. As Millie, I've become a captain in the sewer trash. I am one, maybe 2 levels away from a right hand. And until that slimy fuck got greedy, I was going to destroy them. The painting, the Gananga Gap, is an artifact from a long gone group of fools. Are any of you familiar with the Code of Complementary?
I've heard of them in history books.
Yes. Selection of artists, musicians, philosophers, thinkers, fools. I won't go into it. They had this thing, paintings, paint magic, pixels, particularly, was most of it was incredibly foolish. Most of them died or turned into terrible eldritch horrors because they tried to question things that most mortals simply shouldn't. But sometimes they left it just on the brink. The Gananga Gap is one of those paintings. It is not. It is a portal outside of this realm.
One way or two way?
Well, that's the secret, isn't it? As far as I understand, as far as dear director has always used it, one way. It's his own personal trash chute.
Elior connects dots when you say the word trash chute. Oh,
I have one question and one thing. It is not a question because I do not think I need to question it. The director is of the Winter Court, is he not?
Interesting. I suppose it's not a question. Are you familiar with the director?
I am not, but I am familiar. I am to be familiar with the Winter Court.
I do believe he hails from Winter.
Interesting. My second question. You were not eavesdropping on us, this we know. I trust you. While you are out in the lobby, there is a painting, a star map. Did it catch your eye?
I don't know that it did, actually.
I see. There is something more to it, and I was going to ask whether it had the same energy as your painting or not. It is a puzzle, and I am losing.
He smiles a little. She kind of looks from you guys and go, I will say it seems unlikely to be particularly similar, but the coincidence is curious. I would take a look upon exiting.
Thank you.
Um, Way to make a long story short. My family has been in the service of the gutter lights for a long time. Sort of how the director has been so instrumental in many of his operations, they just persist. Family lines get sucked in. You live there, and you can't lie. There's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to hide, nothing. So your children are born into it. I won't bore you with the details, but we learned how to live a dual life. The Gilfborgs were proud members of Sewer Trash. But the Killens, true revolutionaries. Sorry, I digress a little. I started a plan. It's not clear if the painting is a one-way portal or not, but I began to do some research. It's how I determined that it is not of this realm, for even some of the most advanced tracking technology loses itself entirely going through that portal. Anything that we've used that has vision or sense capability, divining magic, nothing seems to return blankness. But one story, not surrounding the painting at all, or the subjects, but the name. seemingly some mythological not expanse of space, but the opposite, the void of it. I don't know where it sends people. But I was going to send him through it.
Can you excuse me for just one moment? I'd like to just. I'm not even gonna really hide. I'm just gonna like physically turn away. I'm
Mhm.
gonna open my little jar. I'm gonna take one of the eyes out. I'm gonna squish it, and I'm gonna just say out loud, "Are they feeding you?"
Who's
And
a hungry boy?
this comes on faster than any time in recent memory. Instantaneous. They are there. This is not of me. I
Good.
am sufficiently fed.
Good. I'm gonna say in my head, I'm allowed to kill the director, right?
I think that is very much something that should happen.
Thank you.
Just ensure he is not of the lineage, or else we will pay a price.
Don't worry. We'll have a long and important chat before we go there. I'll remember to ask you about the lineage. Thank you.
There's not a it's kind of a hesitancy to push, but there is a strong want for you to find that painting.
Oh no, we're on the same page about that. Don't worry, babe. I'm gonna turn back to the group. We still got eyeball dripping. It is not of mine. We are okay. We don't know where the painting is sending people, but it's not my void.
Must be a different void. I don't know.
Elior will look to Rafe and say, faith can be really powerful, am I right? Elior is trying to, without lying, imply that Tenebris is of a certain kind of shadow faith.
Oh,
But
I
obviously,
am sorry. I guess if we are doing names, I could, and I wipe my hands off. I am the emissary of the void. So when you mentioned that people being sent were sent to the void, I wanted to ensure that it was a void. Otherwise, I would have been able to tell you where they were. You have risked your lot. You have risked. Oh my god, 10, please. You have risked a lot to come to us for help. It is only fair you know who is helping you.
Elior, there had been confidence. She was a little concerned that you guys would take it, but it seemed like it was going that way in the comp. She had a steady calm and some confidence. She's a little thrown right now.
Really? She's thrown.
You think these eyelashes come on anybody? Please. Sorry. But also,
She'll-
I'm not.
she'll kind of goes, there's more details. They're not all important. With that being said, do we have a deal? And before I make you guys answer, I'm going to call the session for tonight.
All right.
Goodness gracious, what a session.
My goodness.
We actually played some
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
Got there, we got
We did different role play with a
Yeah.
not real person. So proud of us.
But we still didn't leave the room.
That's true.
We're still in the same room.
Yes.
The
They
rumor,
left the room, but we stayed. in the
rumor
same-
happened.
Love
Yeah.
a bottle episode.
Ta-da.
Oh my god. When she said the void, I was gonna be like, listen, you fucker, if you've been eating all of these people and I just sent that entire bear to Nadar, I'm gonna be in so much trouble.
I'm so happy for you that you have an entity that supports you. I don't have an entity that supports.
Well, you're really just, I mean, look at how you live.
You see how I scoosh? You see how I scoosh these eyeballs?
Oh, that's okay. At least I didn't suffer in the end. Anyway.
Hey,
Yeah,
it's
you
important.
was. I'm
All
gonna
right.
put this dice
man.
over here because that
Thank
one was
you,
so good.
everybody.
I'm gonna go do
Yeah.
what she's doing.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
good.
same.
Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Night,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.